rollers, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma and it's time for my February Wheel of TBR. If you're new to my channel, much like a lot of other YouTubers, I have been doing a Wheel of TBR to determine what I'm going to read for the month, and it was inspired by Cody from Book Corner, so I will leave her linked down below. But before we start, I just want to go over January's Wheel of TBR. So I did 5 spins for physical and 1 audio. The first one was Colorful Spine, which I chose Love Life in the List by Casey West, and I did finish that book. For one-word title, I chose Falling by Jane Green. I soft DNF'd to this book. I got to about there, you guys can tell, and I just wasn't feeling it. I'm not sure if I'm going to go back to it, if it's going to be a complete DNF or a soft DNF. I'm going to sit on it for a couple months and see how I feel. For a Goodreads recommendation, I had The How and the Why by, what's her name? Cynthia Hand. This book was a 5-star recommendation because I had reviewed Michigan vs. the Boys as 5 stars. I did not get to The How and the Why this month though. And then for a new release, I chose to do the second book in the Babysitter's Covens series by Kate Williams, which was For Better or Worse, and I'm currently reading it. I am right about here. I have a handful of days left in the month of January, so I am going to try to finish it. If not, it'll be the first book that I finish in February. And then for my audio spin, I chose to do Once Upon a Dream by Liz Braswell, which is my book that I chose for the Books in Lala's Buzzwordathon reading challenge for the year, and it also was my retelling spin. I am almost done with that book. I have about probably an hour and 15 minutes left of the audio. I will 100% be done with it by the end of January. Because I did not start The How and the Why though, I will take a red circle prompt, which are just my harder prompts. It will be the first prompt that I will put up on my wheel for the month. But the rest of them, I have at least started them, and they do not count for red circles. I will once again be taking part in Books in Lala's Buzzwordathon Readathon for the month of December. The theme is color, so I am going to try to fit Darling Rose Gold on to my TBR for the month of February because it is the only book that I own that has a color in it. Gold is a color as well as rose is pink in French, so kind of fits both ways. If I can't fit this one in, I'll try to fit an audiobook in with a color in the title, but this is one that I'm going to try to do. I also am going to try to fit Always and Forever Lara Jean by Jenny Han into this month's Wheel of TBR. This would be a reread for me. I have read all 3 books in the series. I have reread the first 2, and with Forever and Always Lara Jean, the final book or the final movie in the trilogy coming out to Netflix in early February, I do want to do a reread of For Always and Forever. So I'm hoping I can fit this one in as well. And this is the wheel as we last left it. We do have 1 red circle that hasn't come up yet, and I'm about to add my second red circle, and then we will do a spin. My red circles are in here. Ooh, okay. So for the red circle that I pulled, it was 500 pages or more than 500 pages for this one, which means that it would most likely end up not being one of my audiobooks for the month. If you are new to my channel, I do 4 spins every month and then a 5th one, which is an audiobook, but I don't determine it when I'm spinning. I determine it when I've actually built my TBR. Let's get started. I also want to say, just if you're new to my channel and it happens to land first on 500 plus pages, for me, a respin is any time that it lands on the exact same one it was on last time, just so you know. Alright, and the first book is an e-book. So the first prompt is an e-book. For me, an e-book is not a book that is on an e-reader. Instead, it is a book where either the title or the author's name starts with an E or has an E as one of the first few letters. My name is Emma, so that's where the e-book comes from. So I'm gonna go look through my shelves and find an ebook. The wheel spun an ebook, and for my ebook I chose to do Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Hing. This book has been on my TBR for a while too. They recently made the adaptation of it on Hulu with Reese Witherspoon. I've been waiting to watch it until after I read it, But the back title says, in Shaker Heights, a placid progressive suburb of Cleveland, everything is planned, from layouts of the winding roads to the colors of the houses to the successful lives of its residents will go on to lead. And no one embodies the spirit more than Elena Richards' son, whose guiding principle is playing by the rules. Enter Mia Warren, an enigmatic artist and single mom who survives in this idyllic bubble with her teenage daughter Pearl, and a disregard for the status quo that threatens to upend this carefully ordered community. Suspicious of Mia and her motives, Elena is determined to uncover the secrets in Mia's past, but her obsession will become unexpected and at a devastating cost. So it sounds interesting. It sounds like a domestic thriller. Sounds a little bit like I can see why Reese Witherspoon liked it after she really liked Big Little Lies. Comes in at oh, it's actually not as short as I thought, but it comes in at 336 pages, so not that long either. All right, and since we only had one red circle punishment this month, we do get to pick out of the white circles, and we're going to pick a BIPOC book. So this can be a book that the main character is BIPOC or the author is BIPOC. And once again, it cannot land on this triangle right away. It can be 2 spins from now, but it cannot be this spin to count. No! Oh my god, I'm such a slow reader. Alright, I will find a book on my shelf that is 500 plus pages for this month, but we are getting a red circle off the circle, which also feels pretty good, but 500 pages! Ugh. For a book that's 500 plus pages, I chose to do Under the Dome by Stephen King, but I am going to do it on audio. I went to my spreadsheet and like searched for 500 plus page books, and I don't own any because I'm not a big book reader. So according to Goodreads, Under the Dome comes in at 1,074 pages. I haven't looked at, I know it's on Audible. I like used my credit to buy it, but I haven't looked at how long it is on Audible. But I did watch the like first couple of seasons of the CBS adaptation of it, so I have an idea of what it's about. But it says, on an entirely normal, beautiful day in Chester Mill, Maine, the town is inexplicably and suddenly sealed off from the rest of the world by an invisible force field. Planes crash into it and fall from the sky in flaming wreckage. A gardener's hand is severed by the dome as the dome comes down on it. The people running errands in the neighboring towns are divided from their families, and cars explode on impact. No one can fathom what its barrier is and where it came from, or when or if it will go away. Dale Barba, Iraq vet and now short order cook, finds himself teamed with a few citizens, town newspaper owner Julia Shumway, a physician assistant at the hospital, a select woman, and 3 brave kids. Against them stands Big Jim Rennie, a politician who will stop at nothing, even murder, to hold the reins of power, and his son, who is keeping a horrible secret in a dark pantry. With their main adversary, the dome itself. Because time isn't short, it's running out. So, I don't know, I really liked the show, and as I'm reading it, some pieces are coming back. I'm a little intimidated, I'm not gonna lie, by a 1,000-page book. I also know that is probably going to mean, I'm gonna see if it's come to my Audible yet. I also am gonna assume that means I'm gonna have to listen to it like probably almost every day of February to get through it. Yeah, because it is 34 hours and 24 minutes. So I'm not 100% sure I can finish that in a month. We will see, because like, hold on. So 34 times 60 is 2,240, and I listen typically on my ride home, which is about 30 minutes, which means it would take me 68 days to read it, so I'm gonna have to listen to it other than when I'm driving. So that's all I'm gonna be doing pretty much for the month of February. All right, what are we gonna use to replace the 500-page circle? A sophomore book. So if we land on a sophomore book, this is the second book the author has published, so it wouldn't be their debut, but instead the second book they've read. This is one of the ones I don't think I have yet on my spreadsheet with all my prompts, so this might take some time if we land on this one today. All right. A book by a favorite author. So I'm gonna be honest with you guys, normally I walk away and I plan my TBR, but we are going to just automatically say that Forever and Always Lara Jean by Jenny Han is going to be the book for the prompt, a book by my favorite author, because I do love Jenny Han. I've loved everything I've read by her, and this is one of my all-time favorite trilogies ever, so pretty easy peasy lemon squeezy. But yeah, Always and Forever Lara Jean is the third book in the trilogy, and it follows Lara Jean and her boyfriend Peter through their senior year as Lara Jean is trying to figure out where she's going to go to college when she doesn't get into the same college as her boyfriend. It is probably my second favorite book in the series, and I'm so excited, but I'm so nervous about the movie. Also, fun fact, I'm working on getting closed captionings on the majority of the videos on my channel. I'm starting back all the way back from when I first really entered BookTube, and this book was my favorite book of 2017, I think, and I was literally just watching the video doing closed captioning, so that kind of made me happy. Alrighty, it's time for spin number 4, but first we need... So we are going to do our 4th spin, but we're going to replace book by a favorite author with TBR Vet, which is just a book that's been on my TBR for a while. I can be pretty liberal with that one, which is nice. But it is time for spin numero 4. Ooh, I'm so excited. All right, so this one is BIPOC. So it can be a book that is by a BIPOC author or a book that has a BIPOC main character. So Black, Indigenous, people of color. I was actually editing earlier today my video that's already gone up, but it is books that are on my radar that I already own, and I can think of 2 that I really, really want to read, 3 that I really want to read off of that list. So I'm actually really excited because I can pick up some of those books. And then for my BIPOC author or character, I chose I'm Not Dying With You Tonight by Kimberly Jones and Gilly Segal. This book was on my books that I own that are on my radar list. It has been on it. It's probably the book that I most recently bought from that list. But the inside cover summary says, Lena and Campbell aren't friends. Lena has her killer style, her awesome boyfriend, and a plan. She knows she's going to make it big. Campbell, on the other hand, is just trying to keep her head down and get through the years at her new school. When both girls attend the Friday night football game, what neither expects is for everything to descend into sudden mass chaos. Chaos born from violence and hate. Chaos that is unexpectedly thrown at them. They aren't friends. They hardly understand the other's point of view. But none of that matters when the city is up in flames and they only have each other to rely on if they're going to survive the night. And it just sounds so good. I am very, very much interested in it. All right, and the last circle we're going to replace, we're going to replace it with, oh, I dropped one, that's okay. A person of color character. So this one is a little bit more broad. It can be any person of color, whether they're Black, Middle Eastern, Asian, Hispanic, Latinx. This one is different though because it does need to be a character, whereas my BIPOC one can be a character or an author. And our last spin to determine our last book of the month. A book that is a TBR vet. I'm going to go through my TBR, find probably one of the last books that I own that was added to my TBR on Goodreads, and I will do that, but I will be back. So for TBR vet, I chose to do Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. I have read Gone Girl by her, but that is all that I've read. The back says, Libby was 7 when her mother and 2 sisters were murdered in the Satan sacrifice of Kinnicky, Kansas. She survived and famously testified that her 15-year-old brother Ben was the killer. 25 years later, the Kill Club, a secret society obsessed with notorious crimes, locates Libby and pumps her for details. They hope to discover proof that may free Ben. Libby hopes to turn a profit on her tragic history. She'll reconnect with the players from that night and report her findings to the club for a fee. As Libby's search takes her from shabby Missouri strip clubs to abandoned Oklahoma tourist towns, the unimaginable truths emerge, and Libby finds herself right back where she started, on the run from a killer. So I'm interested in this book. It actually sounds really good. I don't know if I've ever read the synopsis of it or if I just picked it up because I'd heard about it on BookTube, and I think I own Sharp Objects somewhere too. I'm not 100% sure, although I might not because I feel like, I don't know. But I am kind of intrigued. This one actually sounds even more interesting to me than Gone Girl did too. So there's that. But yeah, this book is relatively short, which is nice. Like I said, it's been on my TBR for a while, so we'll see how it goes. And then I also just wanted to let you guys know that my books in Lala pick for the month might be hard for me to get to, especially now that I saw how long Under the Dome is going to take me. But I was going to do the Astonishing Color of After on audio. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to it, so I think I'm going to put off Dark Places towards the end of the month, and if I can't get through the Astonishing Color of After, I am going to bend the rules a little bit and use Dark Places in that spot, because that was pretty much the only way I could make this work. I'm a little nervous, very excited, and yeah. Also, did not realize that this month would be so thriller heavy. Most of the time when you think February, you're probably thinking like romantic contemporaries, but that's not what the wheel wanted this month, I guess. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in another one. Bye, Worlders. I will once again, do that again. Oh my god, my nose is itchy, hold on. Always when I film, I swear. The sticker and it's just bothering. Ooh, it's gonna be sticky too, that sucks. Where's my phone? My phone over here now, I lost it.